Hey everybody, it's Paula here from the Excel Club and welcome to today's video. We're going to look at a bit of Power Query in today's video, and what we're going to look at is how to create a date table on the fly using existing tables that you have in your data model. So if you don't have a date table and you need to create a date table on the fly, I'm going to show you how I do this in this video. But before we get stuck in, I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and hit that notifications button so you don't miss any more of my videos. And if you find this video to be of value, please do share it across your social profiles. So let's hop over now and have a look at how to create a date table using Power Query. I've seen many options for creating date tables using Power Query, and this option that I'm going to show you is the option that I use quite often. This option will allow you dynamically create a date table where it picks the earliest date and the latest date in your model, kind of like Calendar Auto in DAX, and then creates a date table based on this earlier and latest date. Before you can do this, you do need to identify what is your earliest date, which table contains your earliest date and which table contains your latest date. A good table to use for an earliest date would be a sales table, and a budgets table or a forecasting table is also a good table to use for your latest date. Now, if you're using a HR model, start date and maybe retirement dates are good dates to choose for your earliest and for your latest dates. So we're going to create this table using Power Query, and then we're going to load this table into Power BI. Now this is by far the preferred method, is loading your table in and not creating it in DAX. So let's get stuck straight in. We have the same two tables that we had been working on in our earlier examples. We have a budgets table and we have a sales table. And we're going to use these two tables to create our date table. So I'm going to edit our queries to open up our query editor. And once our query editor is open, I am going to select our sales table, and I'm going to duplicate our sales table so we can use this table to get our earliest date. Now I'm going to straight away rename this to earliest. Then I am going to remove the sales column. So I have the dates column selected, so I'm going to say remove other columns. Then from here, I am going to then filter this row to the earliest date. So we can go in here to our filter, date filter, and then select is earliest. Now I selected the sales table because the sales, knowing the model that I have, is the earliest date that I have. Now quite often the earliest date that you have is not going to be the start of a year. So we're going to transform this to the start of the year. So go to the transform column, dates. Under dates, we're going to go to year, and we're going to select start of year, and that's going to force the date back to the start of the year of the earliest date that you have in your table. I'm then going to drill down into this value. So we can say drill down. So I right click and say drill down, and this turns it into a value. It's no longer a table, but it's now a value. So that's our earliest date. Now what we need to do is we need to get our latest date. So I'm going to go to our budget table. From our budget table, I'm going to duplicate this. I am then going to remove the other column because I have the date column selected and I don't need the budgets column. Now from here, when I filter this time, date filter, I am going to say is the latest. So I am taking the latest date in our budgets table. Then from our transform ribbon, I am going to go to our date, go to our year and say end of year. And this will force our date to the end of the year. The next step then is to drill down to turn this into a value and not a table. Now we rename the name of this to latest. So now I have an earliest and I have a latest date. All we need to do is actually create a list of dates in between this now. So we're going to use a little bit of M code to create this list of dates in between our earliest and our latest dates. We're going to go to new source, and from our new source we are going to select blank query. Now in our blank query in the formulas bar we're going to start with equals, and then we're going to enter in our curly bracket. Then we are going to start with number dot from. Once we select number dot from, we can open up a bracket and we can start with our earliest date. Then we put in double dots, and again we will select number dot from and open up our bracket, and this time we are going to take our latest. Now when we enter this, and I think my number dot from latest is incorrect there, so I'm going to just re-enter this. Number dot from, select number dot from, put in latest, select our latest, and then when we hit enter we should get a list of numbers. Now this is a list, it's not a table. It's also in number format, and if you remember from your date math in Excel and understanding how date works in Excel, date is really just a number shown as a different formatting, a date formatting, and that's what's happened here. We've listed all of the numbers between our earliest date and our latest date. So now we can convert this to table by selecting convert to table, and that will convert this to a table. So I'm not selecting any delimiter, and I'm not going to change anything from errors. Now from our transform ribbon, our data type I can select as our date, and I can also rename our column to our date column. So now we basically have a date column. I'm going to rename this query to our date table. I did say earlier on that a date table can be as little as one row of dates to a more detailed date table that contains other things, such as the month name, the end of month, and all these other different fields that you can add. Well, let's look at adding some of them now also by Power Query. So if we go to add column and we have our date field selected, from date we can then select the year, so we can just pull out the year and add in a field for the year. We could select our month and we could select the name of the month. So now we quickly have the name of the month. Again, selecting the date column, we can select our quarter. So we can select the quarter of the year. We can select, again, selecting my date table. There's so many options that you can do from adding a new column and selecting the date. So you have year options, so you can year, start a year, end a year, month, month, start a month, end of month, days in month, name of month, quarter the same. You've got quarter of year, start a quarter, end, week, week of year. We could put in the week of year. We could, now you see the way now when I have week of year selected, our date and format grays out. We need to have our date column selected for these date ones to actually work. Day of the week, for example. Now we could also then add in a custom column that will help us calculate or help us prepare a sort by column. And you may be familiar in Power BI that sorting by month, if you have different months and over different years, sorting can be a little bit of a problem. So we can add a custom column to create a sort by year. And I'm going to call this sort by column. And what I'm going to take is I am going to take our year. I'm going to multiply our year by 100. And then I am going to add, and I haven't added in the month name yet. So let's just come back out of this for a second. I'm going to cancel this, go back into our date. Yes, I do want to cancel this. We will go back into our date. In our month, I'm going to select our month number because I didn't select our month number. Now let's go back into our custom column. And this time we're going to, as I said, we're creating a sort by column. And I'm going to take our year, I'm going to multiply this by 100, and then I'm going to add on the month. So how does this actually work? Well, let's say okay and see how it works. So it'll take the year, which is 2019. It'll multiply it by 100. So it'll add an extra 2 digits onto that. So it'll be 201900. Then it adds a 1. So 201901, giving us the sort by month number. Now what we can do is, in our earliest, we do not load this to our model. We don't want to load our latest to our model either. So I want to disable load. And now we can close and apply. And this will then load a date table for us into our Power BI model. So we can see now our date table is coming in. And on our fields, we have our date table over here. Now, note that this is not marked as a date table. And we're going to go through that in the next video, why you should mark a date table, and then how to use a sort by column. But for the moment, we need to now create a relationship. So we have our date table and we can select our date column from our date table and create a relationship to our budget. And then we can create a relationship also with our sales table too. Now, both of these relationships have come up as a one-to-one relationship because in each table, both dates are only showing up once. By clicking on this link within the relationship, you can actually change the relationship from selecting from our cardinality. So you can actually do that if you needed to do that. The most optimal relationship type in Power BI is a one-to-many relationship, and that's actually gone the wrong way. The many should be on the facts table, not on the dimensions table, and the date table is a dimensions table. So we would have to go back in and we can edit the relationship again. So the one-to-many is showing around the other way. So we have many to one, we can select one-to-many, select OK. And that should change basically, there we go, one-to-many. And we could do the same then with our sales table as well, because both our budget and our sales table would be facts tables.